My wife said, "When we divorce, I'm taking half of everything you built." I replied, "Interesting theory." Then I transferred the business to my mother and filed first. Her lawyer's face when he saw the asset list. I, 36 male, was sitting at my kitchen table going over inventory spreadsheets when my wife Bianca, 34, walked in and dropped that bomb. "Just so you know, when we divorce, I'm taking half of everything you built. The business, the house, everything." I looked up from my laptop. She was standing there with her arms crossed, smirking like she'd just played a winning hand. "When we divorce?" I asked. "Oh, come on, Garrett. We both know this isn't working. I'm just being practical about the future." I closed my laptop slowly. "Interesting theory." She laughed. "It's not a theory, it's the law. I supported you while you built that business. I deserve half." For context, I run a small electronics repair shop. Started it 5 years ago with $3,000 I'd saved up. Bianca supported me by existing, I guess. She worked part-time at her friend's boutique for fun money while I worked 70-hour weeks. But sure, she made dinner sometimes. "Well, thanks for the heads up," I said, and went back to my spreadsheet. She looked confused that I wasn't arguing. "That's it? That's all you have to say?" "What do you want me to say, Bianca? You've clearly thought this through." She stomped off. But I knew this wasn't over. Bianca had been testing divorce threats for months, usually when she wanted something expensive. This time felt different though, more calculated. That night, I called my buddy Jerome. He's a contract lawyer, not divorce, but he knows enough. She actually said that? Out loud? Yep, even mentioned the business specifically. "Bro, she just showed her hand. You need to move fast." The next morning, I called my mom, Eleanor. Explained the situation. "That entitled little witch," she said. "After everything you've done for her?" "Mom, I need to transfer the business to you, temporarily." "Whatever you need, honey. Here's the thing about my business. It was registered as an LLC, and I was the sole member. Bianca's name wasn't on anything. Never needed to be. She never showed interest beyond asking when I'd make real money. Within 48 hours, I'd legally transferred the LLC to my mother for family financial planning. Moved business equipment to a storage unit under Mom's name. Documented that the transfer was for $1, legal sale, not a gift. Withdrew my salary to a separate account I just opened. All completely legal. The business was never marital property. Started it before marriage with premarital funds, kept it separate. 3 days later, I filed for divorce. Update 1, Bianca got served at her friend's boutique, in front of customers. The process server told me she went from confused to furious in about 2.3 seconds. My phone exploded 20 minutes later. "You piece of trash. How dare you embarrass me like that? You think you're smart? I'm taking everything. Your little business is mine. I know my rights." I didn't respond, but I did screenshot everything. She came home that evening with her brother Carlo and her mom Joyce. They tried to storm in like some sort of intervention squad. "You're not getting away with this," Joyce announced. "My daughter deserves half of everything." "Of what?" I asked. "Don't play dumb." Carlo tried to look intimidating. "The business, the house, your money." "The house is a rental," I reminded them. "And what business?" Bianca's face went red. "Your repair shop." "Oh, you mean Mom's repair shop? She bought it from me last week." The silence was beautiful. You could actually see their brains trying to process. You can't do that," Joyce sputtered. "That's fraud." "It's a completely legal sale. I have the paperwork if you'd like to see it." Carlo stepped forward. "You think you're clever? We'll get a lawyer who'll tear that apart." "Cool, good luck with that." They left, but not before Bianca screamed, "You haven't won anything. I know about your hidden money, your investments, everything. Hidden money? Investments? I repair phones and laptops, not run a hedge fund. My investment portfolio was like $2,000 in a Robinhood account." But that gave me an idea of where this was going. The next day, Bianca cleared out her half of everything in the apartment. And by everything, I mean everything. She took half the silverware, literally counted forks, 1 shoe from each of my pairs, half my clothes, cut some in half with scissors, the right side of the couch cushions, all the phone chargers, but left the cables, my work laptop, good luck with the password. She left a note, "This is just the beginning. My lawyer will be in touch." I had to laugh. She took 1 shoe from each pair. Who does that? Update 2. Bianca hired Antonius Kellerman. If you Googled sleazy divorce lawyer, his face would pop up. This dude advertised on bus benches with slogans like, "Take him for everything." The first meeting was enlightening. Antonius walked in wearing a suit that screamed, "I peaked in 1987," and enough cologne to fumigate a building. Bianca was with him, dressed like she was going to court instead of a conference room. "Mr. Garrett," he started, "my client is entitled to half of all marital assets, including your lucrative electronics repair business." "I don't own a business," I said calmly. He smirked. "We know about the transfer to your mother. That's fraudulent conveyance. Any judge will see right through it." My lawyer, Patricia, leaned forward. "Actually, Mr. Kellerman, the business was started with premarital funds and maintained as separate property. The sale to his mother was completely legal." "Sale?" Antonius laughed. "For $1? Please." Patricia slid over documents. "Fair market value for a business that's operating at a loss." See, here's what Bianca didn't know. On paper, my business was barely breaking even. Every penny of profit went back into equipment, inventory, or my very modest salary. Completely illegal tax strategy. Antonius flipped through the papers, his face getting redder. "What about other assets? Investment accounts? Cryptocurrency?" "Here's a complete financial disclosure," Patricia said. "Total assets, $3,400 in checking, $2,100 in savings, and about $2,000 in a Robinhood account." Bianca's jaw dropped. "That's impossible. He makes good money." "Made," I corrected. "I resigned from Mom's shop yesterday. Currently unemployed." The best part? It was all true. I did resign. Mom hired me back as a consultant for $1,500 a month, just enough to live on. Antonius tried another angle. "What about the household items she's entitled to?" "She already took them," I said, "including one shoe from each pair." "Would you like photos?" Patricia pulled out her phone, showing pictures of my shoes, all missing their pairs. The cut-up clothes, the couch with half its cushions gone. "Your client destroyed property and stole items not awarded in any settlement," Patricia said sweetly. "We could press charges." Bianca went pale. Antonius whispered furiously with her. "We need to reassess," he finally said. Update 3. After the lawyer meeting flopped, Bianca went nuclear. But not in the way you'd expect. She started a wellness and empowerment Instagram account, Phoenix Rising from Divorce, posted daily about surviving financial abuse and rebuilding after betrayal. The posts were something else. When he hides assets, but karma doesn't hide. A real man doesn't abandon his wife financially. Starting from zero because he took everything. She started getting sympathy donations. People were cash-apping her money for her fresh start. Then she made her mistake. She posted a photo of herself at an expensive steakhouse with the caption, "Treating myself because I deserve it after everything he put me through. # self-care divorce warrior." My cousin Terrence saw it and commented, "Isn't that the $200 place? Thought you were starting from zero?" She blocked him, but people had already screenshotted. Someone did the math on her posts. In 2 weeks, she'd shown $300 dinners, $500 spa days, $800 shopping hauls, new iPhone, all while claiming to be financially devastated. But here's where it gets good. The IRS follows social media too, and declaring money as gifts when you're soliciting them with sob stories? That's income, baby. Meanwhile, Bianca's mom Joyce started her own campaign. She called my mom. "Eleanor, be reasonable. Your son is destroying my daughter's life." Mom put her on speaker so I could hear. "Joyce, your daughter announced she was going to take half of everything before she even filed for divorce. She played herself." He manipulated the system. He protected his assets, legally. Maybe if Bianca had contributed to the business instead of just waiting to cash out? How dare you? She supported him emotionally. Emotional support doesn't pay business loans, Joyce. They went back and forth until Joyce threatened to expose us on social media. Mom laughed. "Joyce, I'm 64. I don't care about Facebook drama. Do what you need to do." Joyce did exactly that. Posted this long rant about our criminal family and how we stole from Bianca. Plot twist. Mom's customers loved it. Business actually went up. Turns out people enjoy supporting a small business that doesn't tolerate gold diggers. Update 4. Antonius decided to depose my mother about the business transfer. Big mistake. Mom showed up looking like the sweetest grandmother you've ever seen. Soft cardigan, reading glasses on a chain, the whole nine. Antonius thought he had an easy target. Mrs. Eleanor, isn't it true you conspired with your son to hide assets? I purchased a struggling business to help my family. For $1? That's more than it was worth according to the financials. You expect us to believe that? Mom pulled out her iPad. Would you like to see the books? 3 years of losses, equipment debt, lease obligations. She started explaining every expense, every repair, every piece of equipment, in detail, excruciating detail. 2 hours in, Antonius was sweating. We get it, Mrs. Eleanor. Oh, but you seemed confused about the value. Let me show you the depreciation schedules. Another hour. She explained tax codes, licensing fees, insurance costs. By hour 4, even the court reporter looked ready to die. And that's why the $23 capacitor order from March was actually a net loss when you factor in shipping. Okay, Antonius cracked. No further questions. Mom smiled sweetly. Are you sure? I have more spreadsheets. But the best part came when Patricia cross-examined. Mrs. Eleanor, what are your plans for the business? Oh, I'm thinking of selling it. Bianca perked up. To my nephew Terrence, he's always wanted to learn electronics repair. The look on Bianca's face when she realized the business would stay in the family no matter what? Priceless. Final update. So here's where we ended up after 4 months of this circus. The final divorce hearing was anticlimactic. Bianca showed up dressed like she was accepting an Oscar. Antonius looked defeated already. The judge reviewed everything. The business transfer, completely legal. The financial disclosures, all accurate. The property destruction documented with photos. The social media fraud. Yeah, the IRS thing became evidence. Mrs. Bianca, the judge said, you've asked for half of marital assets. According to these documents, that would be approximately $3,750. However, you've already taken household items valued at roughly $4,000, destroyed property worth another $2,000, and admitted to taking monetary gifts under false pretenses. Bianca started to speak, but Antonius grabbed her arm. The judge continued. The court finds no evidence of hidden assets or fraudulent transfers. The business was demonstrably separate property. The settlement. Bianca keeps what she took, minus my work laptop, had to return that. No alimony. Marriage was only 3 years. She pays her own legal fees. She owes me $2,000 for destroyed property. Good luck collecting. Antonius's bill to her, $15,000. Outside the courthouse, Bianca had one last meltdown. You destroyed my life. I gave you everything. You gave me an ultimatum about taking half of what I built. I just made sure there wasn't anything to take. I'll make sure everyone knows what kind of person you are. They already know from your Instagram. By the way, the IRS says hi. Her face went white. What? Turns out soliciting donations with false sob stories is fraud. Who knew? Carlo stepped forward, trying to be threatening one last time. You haven't heard the last of this. Actually, I have. It's called a divorce decree, pretty final. As they walked away, Joyce turned back. I hope you're happy. I am, actually. Thanks for asking. Eleanor linked her arm through mine. Buy you lunch at that steakhouse Bianca likes? Can't afford it, Mom. I'm unemployed, remember? She laughed. Good thing I own a business then. The business is thriving under Mom's ownership. She actually enjoys coming in twice a week to do the books. Says it keeps her mind sharp. Bianca's Instagram pivoted to fitness journey after the IRS issue got real. She owes about $8,000 in back taxes and penalties. Antonius, he updated his bus bench ads. Now they say realistic divorce outcomes. Joyce and Eleanor still go to the same yoga class. It's apparently very awkward. Mom loves it. Carlo tried to leave me a bad Yelp review for Mom's shop. Forgot that Yelp shows your name. His boss saw it, I may have forwarded it, and wasn't impressed with his threatening local businesses hobby. As for me, I'm still working at Mom's shop. Making less money on paper but somehow living better. Funny how that works when you're not supporting someone who contributes nothing but complaints. Oh, and I'm dating again. Her name's Luna. First thing I told her, I don't own a business. I work for my mom. She laughed. Good, my ex owned a business. Too much drama. To everyone asking if I regret the whole thing, nope. Bianca showed me who she was when she said, when we divorce instead of if. She was already planning her exit strategy. I just beat her to it. And to those saying I should have just been a man and given her half, Half of what? Half of the 70-hour weeks? Half of the stress? Half of the business loans? She wanted half the rewards without half the work. That's not how life works. The business is still in the family. I still fix electronics. The only difference is now Mom signs my checks and nobody's planning to take half of something they didn't help build. Bianca, if you're reading this, and I know you are, hi Joyce, you got exactly what you contributed to the business. Nothing. Edit. Stop asking for the shop's name or location. We're not doing free advertising here. Edit 2. Yes, the IRS really did go after her. When you post about being broke while flashing cash and tag it donations save lives, they notice. Edit 3. To everyone saying, this is why I won't get married. Nah, just marry someone who contributes equally and doesn't threaten divorce for leverage. Edit 4. Mom says hi and wants everyone to know she's available for depositions if you need someone to bore lawyers to death with spreadsheets.